What's going on, guys? Galaxy here, and welcome to Subnautica. This is a fantastic game. I picked it up. Well, I didn't pick it up. I'm borrowing it from a friend so I can play it because it's really good. It's really that good. If I had the money, I'd definitely buy it literally right now to play it in my own library. But thanks to my good friend, he's letting me use his library, so I can give this to you guys as well, so we can share an experience of whatever this game is. So I picked it up. I was like, hey man, can I play this game on your library? And he was like, sure, why not? I don't care. He doesn't go on Steam that much anymore, or for currently. But this game is fantastic. I honestly didn't expect it to hook me in so much, like instantly. I was like, this is amazing, because I tried it a few years ago. How long has this game been? This game has been in development for a very long time. It just recently came out, and everyone's been playing it. But I've already got like 60 hours in. And I was playing it before it was even released, so I was a little bit before the hype train, but not the recording hype train, but I'm here nonetheless. But it was a while ago, and it was, I want to say about 2 years ago, maybe a year ago, I don't know. I loaded it up, and the frames were just awful. It was like I was trying to run Arc on like maximum settings when I was on low, and I don't know how they optimized it, but it is phenomenally better now. I can run it maximum settings, 60 FPS. Well, maybe not 60, because there are some spaces in the game where it chugs everyone's computer a little bit. I was watching some live streams and recordings, and there are some parts in the game that it still could use a little bit more refining. But it's good enough for a full release, and it was fantastic. It was a great release. I was watching the live stream. It was their first live streams, and they were doing it in a not so convenient location, but it was really cool. I enjoyed it. So this is Subnautica. Love this game. I'm going to be trying my best to stay silent during the cutscenes, what little cutscenes there are in the game. So without further ado, these are my other saves. As you can tell, I've already got quite a bit on the games. I was messing around with creative this one, but we're gonna start a new game. We're playing on survival. Maybe in the future we'll do a hardcore playthrough, but that's gonna be difficult. But we're just doing survival for right now. So we got food, hunger, or we got food and hunger. We got hunger, thirst, and then health, and then O2, obviously. So yeah, let's get started. So, while leveling's loading up, I think I'm just going to cut this out. So, we'll be right back with the cutscene.
Attention. Hull failure imminent. All personnel abandon ship. Launch in 3, 2, 1.
Alright. Oh, hello. PDA. Awake. I need you. Don't love that dog. Altera.
You have suffered minor head trauma. This is considered an optimal outcome. This PDA has now rebooted in emergency mode with one directive: to keep you alive on an alien world. Please refer to the databank for detailed survival advice. Good luck.
Thank you, PDA. Alright, so this is the beginning to Subnautica. My fuel is 100%, even though I used it to put out fire. But, well, here we are on an alien planet. Ship just crashed. Let's go outside. It's a bird! Get out of here, bird. Goodness gracious, we are actually much closer than I would like to that ship.
The Aurora suffered orbital hull failure. cause unknown. 0 human life signs detected.
Oh, nice. Okay. So if you don't know, Subnautica, if you didn't tell already, it is on an ocean world. When I first started playing this game, I was terrified, and I didn't want to go anywhere at all. Alright, here's our fabricator, so we can make stuffs. Food, water. Oh, we're actually half. Oh, jeez. Alright, let's get out of here. Alright, then we can exit. You can exit from the pod either up or down. Alright, and here we go. And, what was that noise? Oh, there's a wreck right there. Alright, so the area that you start in Subnautica, if I could just cover it, there we go. Might have to turn on the graphics setting a little bit. But the area that you start in Subnautica is considered the safe shallows, and that's what this is right here. You always spawn in the safe shallows, but you start in a different area or location in the safe shallows every time you start a new game. So you always start in the safe shallows, but it may be a little bit different every single time. The game doesn't change. It is a set world, so there's no changing the look of the area. You know, if there's a rock over there, hold on. So if there was like a rock sticking out of the water right here in this game, if I loaded a different game, came over here, there'd be a rock sticking up out of the ground right there. I think maybe coral tubes change, because sometimes I have seen coral tubes sticking out of the water in some games and then not in other games. But regardless, let us get started on the survival aspect of the game. So in the game, there is... Where are they at? I gotta find them. This is the only annoying part that I find in the early stages of the game. Let's see. Usually they're pretty easy to spot. Also, make sure you watch your oxygen, because it's very common for new players to die with oxygen. Watch out for these guys too, they can do a lot there. Oh, there it is, Rex limestone. Okay. The first couple times it'll point it out to you.
Copper is an essential component of all powered equipment. Your probability of survival has just increased to unlikely, but plausible.
Yay, plausible. I'll take it. I will take those odds. Alright, so to get some resources, you have to actually go and find limestone and break it, and you find rocks and break it, and that gives you resources. In limestone, you can find titanium and copper. Titanium, you're gonna be needing a lot of titanium in the game. Let's see. There's some right there. There's one. If you're playing on lower setting, I had a much easier time finding rocks to smash on lower settings, because the world detail isn't as impressive on low. It's still good, but it's not as, like, you know, detailed, obviously. So finding the rocks, they kind of glow a little bit on low, or at least they did for me on the settings I was running on. And so it was much easier to find the limestone while I was playing on low. There's some oxygen right there. So, yeah, sometimes it's easier to find things on low settings than it is on higher settings. Alright, this is sandstone, and I just picked up some lead there. Sandstone has gold, lead, silver, and I believe lithium. Lithium might be in shale, though. But we won't be finding shale anywhere around here. Sandstone is the second, obviously, most important. Limestone, arguably the first. Or no, shale, arguably the first, compared to limestone, considering you need a lot of copper and a lot of titanium for things. So if you're going to farm copper, you have to do it either drill it, which that's much later in the game, or you have to farm limestone. Now, spoilers, this is a survival game, so there's going to be a lot of grinding a little bit, especially in the beginning stages of the game. Let's get some oxygen. So if you don't like grinding, this isn't the game for you, but it's a great game, it has an amazing storyline. I hope you stick around and experience it with me. Alright, so this is the fabricator. This is where we will be getting literally everything. Alright, we have enough to make a standard O2 tank, so let's make that. So we can dive lower and for longer. So we got 75.
New blueprint acquired.
So copper, if you want to farm copper, either you drill it or you break a lot of limestone. Titanium can be a little bit different. See, there is a bunch of... Hold on 1 second. Don't do that. I need tools. How do I make this battery? Oh, jeez. That's kind of... I wasn't expecting it to be a battery, not gonna lie. Alright. Okay, sorry. As I was saying, titanium is a little bit different. Titanium you can farm by getting this metal salvage that you saw me pick up. There is quite a bit of metal salvage kind of all over the place. Come here, fishy. Come here.
New creature discovered.
I don't want to look at you. That's weird.
Alien life
Come here, peeper.
May have
Come back. No, I don't want to be your friend, I promise.
Utilizing alien resources
Come here.
is a proven survival strategy.
Come here. I need you. You're more important. I'm gonna get some food here. I'm gonna catch some fish. Come here. Oh my god. I wish I had my fins. Okay, you know, whatever. Actually, not whatever. I still need food. Come here. Come back. Please.
New creature discovered.
Come here. I don't care which one of you it is. Just give me something. Come here. Okay. Goodbye. Never mind. He was destined not to be eaten, apparently. Alright, so we need some food. The fabricator is also where you get your food from. Where you don't get it, but you make your food at. Okay, you guys are not there.
New creature discovered.
Man, they swim so slow in the beginning. Can't wait till I get my technology. Alright. So our food's kind of low, so you can make water out of bladderfish. It's not really that effective. It's good for the early stages when you don't know how to make the other types of water, but honestly, going for the disinfected water right off the bat is so much better than just getting the filtered water. Alright, so you can make cooked food and then you make cured food. Cooked food is for when you want to eat something immediately.
Small organisms while disposing of the skeletal structure, bodily fluids, and internal organs, thus rendering them safe for human consumption.
Okay, so cooked food is like you want to eat it right away. Cured food is when you want to save it for long journeys. So be aware of that. It's going to be nighttime soon, so I need to get on this battery. But I also first need some silicone rubber, which is found over here in the creepvine biome. Jeez. It's gonna take a little bit to get over here, because I don't have any. Listen, man. You need to chill out.
Blueprint acquired.
Go away. No, hey, chill. Chill. I get it, that's your home. Don't worry. It's not my home yet, so I'll back off. He's not chasing me anymore. It's about to be nighttime. I hate this game at night. Well, actually, I love this game at night, but I love this game in general. But at nighttime, it's extra spooky. Nothing really scares me in the game anymore since I've been playing it for so long. But if you're new to this series, or if you're new to the game, it can get you sometimes. Let's see. All right, so now we should be able to make a knife. Bada bing, bada boom.
Weapons were removed from standard survival blueprints following the massacre on Abraxas Prime. The knife remains the only exception. New blueprint acquired. The scanner can be used to synthesize blueprints from salvage technology and to record alien biological data.
Cool. Alright, so now we got the scanner and the knife. Make fins.
The fabricator draws from available data to provide environment-appropriate equipment using locally available materials. For your safety, this setting cannot be overridden.
Alright, so now we have the scanner. Arguably, literally, the most important tool in the entire game. Alright, so... Well, the scanner is used to scan things. So now you just pretty much walk up to anything or swim up, technically. Swim up to anything in the game, anything is basically scannable. You don't have to scan everything, but if you want to, you know, I mean, I'm not going to stop you. Scanning things and learning things about the game, the environment, the lore they've created in the game is honestly a really cool thing to do. Alright, come here, bladderfish. I can kind of catch up with you now. That makes me happy. But yeah, early stages, you want to get a lot of water because your dehydration will go down very quickly. Come back, Boomerang. Come back, Boomerang. I just want to scan you. I want to learn. Alright, I guess he doesn't want to play. Come here, bladderfish. I don't know why you're hanging out up here. Come here. Come back, please. Alright, I need... There's my knife. I don't know how he did that in the water, but I'll take it. Get some table coral. I'm not exactly, like, super efficient on doing things. But I do things in my own way, in my own time. So, yeah. Alright, let us get the flashlight, because it is very dark. I can't see anything. What does it take to make a flashlight? We also need a repair tool. Arguably one of the more annoying things to get in the very early stages. Let's see, a battery and some glass. I can make both of those things. I lied. I cannot. I am a liar. I have trilled you. Right, I need 2 acid mushrooms. That acid mushrooms are everywhere. You can grow them too. If you really need to, if you're setting up a base in the safe shallows, it's not required. Ting, and then we get the flashlight. And now we're going to need the repair tool. So your pod does run on solar power, so be aware of that. So if you play... That's right. Please don't point it at my face. Why would you do that to me? So if you're going to play during the nighttime in the game, you know, in-game night, obviously, be aware that you run out of power. Go away. Nope. Was that close? Jesus. Let's use that close. Alright, so that's the first, like, enemy you'll run into. Oh, yes, we get cave sulfur. Alright, so those little dudes spawn from these little things, and they give you cave sulfur. It's very useful for only making the repair tool, I believe.
Detecting sulfur deposits in the local cave systems.
No,
Sulfur is an essential component of the repair tool.
And they chase you until they blow up. They're basically like kamikaze fish. It's very annoying sometimes. Turn that off. You can try the flashlight by right-clicking. By the way, we'll make a repair tool. Yay! Now it won't be so dark and dingy in here. Why would you do that? My character's not very smart. Alright. Repair this.
Detecting increased local radiation levels.
Yay!
Trend is consistent with damage to the Aurora's drive core sustained during planet fall. LifePod secondary systems online. Running full environment diagnostic and outputting results to databank.
Radio online. Broadcasting emergency distress signal.
Alright, nice. Let's see. Secondary systems online, outgoing radio communication offline. So we can't talk to people, but we can get other people's messages. How nice. Our flotation device is deployed. Hull integrity is okay. That kind of worries me. Environment. Uncharted ocean planet. Oxygen, nitrogen, atmosphere, and waterborne bacteria levels high. Interesting. So this is a medical kit fabricator. You can get a medical kit once it's done. It's basically just spawns an infinite amount of them. It just takes time. It's very useful.
This is Aurora. Distress signal received. Rescue operation will be dispatched to your location in 9 hours. Continue to monitor for emergency transmissions from other life pods.
Alright, so this is your radio. Very important. It will progress the storyline. To an extent. Kind of. For new players, the radio will be your main source of storyline. Because it'll give you hints on where to go next and what to do. You know, if you've already beaten the game, you already know where you gotta go. But if you don't, or if you haven't yet, the radio is invaluable. Alright, so now our pod's fully operational. Fully armed and operational. Let us make more water. Because I want to. I feel like it. Got a lot of water. Oh my god. I didn't realize how much I had. Jeez. Alright, let's cook one. So, the best fish to eat in the early stages of the game would probably be the peeper. Or it is the peeper. But if you can find a Reginald, get a Reginald, because those things are very good. They have a lot of food count. I think it's like 44 when it's cured. I don't know what it's cooked yet, because I don't normally cook fish when I can. When I'm in the later stages of the game, I always just cure them. It's much easier and better for long-term survival, or long-term, you know, adventures and stuff. Alright, so I think I'll leave it off here, and we'll catch you in the next episode of the Subnautica Let's Play. Next episode, I'm going to be probably looking to set up base somewhere. Let's drop this stuff in here. You also have a little compartment. I didn't mention that yet. Put the fire extinguisher in there. We don't need that right now. Let's move this to 4. So yeah, and then you can also check your blueprints from your data pad, your PDA, so you don't have to go back to the fabricator every time to look at things. So if I'm like, oh, how do I make a power cell? I can just come over here and be like, oh wait, it's a battery and silicone. So if I'm out and about, I can pick up this stuff for silicone without having to go all the way back to the life pod to figure out what I need. It records all of your voice logs that you get, so any radio messages you get or anything the PDA tells you, it'll be right here, and it tells you, it says this is the radio, this is the PDA talking to you, and this is where your scanning things go. So this is the environment scan of the planet. You can read it if you wish. Every time I scan something, I'll bring up, I think at the end of each video, I'll bring up the scan results for everything I've scanned that episode, and you guys can read it as you wish. I've read most of it, and some things I just don't want to read, you know. I'm not going to read it out loud because I'm not, you know, fluent in talking out loud that much, because I can stumble over words very easily. So I'll just let you guys pause and read if you want. It's very fascinating. Most of the time, it's very informative of, you know, technically useless things, but if you like the lore and everything else, it's very informative and very, you know, intriguing to learn about. You know, you're on an alien planet, you know. I want to learn as much as I can, so I'm probably going to scan a lot. So, I hope you all enjoyed. I'm Galaxy Gamer, and I'll see you guys next Tuesday for another video. Peace.